You come through the door after pretending to be competent all day, and the keys hit the entry table harder than you meant them to. Your backpack slides off one shoulder. The dog skids across the floor, nails clicking, body almost too excited to stay upright. And for the first time since morning, nobody is checking your tone. Nobody is waiting for the polished version of you. Before you even say hi, something in your body gives up the act. Your shoulders drop. Your jaw unlocks. The breath you were holding comes out before you decide to let it out. That is not just loving dogs. That is your body recognizing a place where you do not have to perform to be welcomed. A dog's greeting can feel so powerful because it arrives before explanation, before negotiation, before the tiny human question of, what mood are they in? You are not being dramatic. Your body relaxed before your mind made a story. If one doorway greeting can change your body that fast, the real question is what kind of safety your mind has been waiting for. You unclip the work badge in the kitchen, and it lands on the counter like proof that you made it through another day. All afternoon, you sounded fine in meetings. You smiled at the right second. You softened emails that could have been honest. You answered family messages in a tone that would not start anything. Then the dog walks in. No performance review. No hidden standard. No little test to see if you are warm enough, funny enough, calm enough, available enough. The dog does not need you to explain why your face looks tired. It does not scan your mood and make you manage its reaction. It just comes closer. That is the part people miss when they say, "You just really love your dog." Sometimes the dog is the one relationship where closeness does not begin with an audition. With people, you may not even notice how much you are editing yourself. You shave the edge off a sentence. You add an exclamation point you do not feel. You make your body sound more okay than it is. But with the dog, your hand drops to its head before you build a version of yourself that deserves affection. And if that kind of safety can change you this fast, the next layer is even stranger. Sometimes the dog is not just comforting your thoughts, but regulating your body. You end up on the living room carpet with one cheek against your arm, close enough to hear the dog breathing. The day is still sitting in your chest, but the dog looks back without needing a summary, a reason, or the right words. You stare a few seconds longer than usual, and the room seems to lower its volume before you decide to call it calming down. That is the part that is easy to dismiss. You think you are just being sentimental. You think the dog is cute, and you are tired, and the floor is where you landed. But your body may be doing something more precise. It may be entering a bond before your thoughts catch up. In the 2015 science study called Oxytocin Gaze Positive Loop and the Coevolution of Human-Dog Bonds, behavioral scientist Miho Nagasawa at Azabu University found that in 30 dog owner pairs, longer mutual gaze raised owners' urinary oxytocin by about 300% and dogs by about 130%. Hand-raised wolves did not show the same gaze loop, so that look on the carpet is not just a mood. Staring back at your dog can feel different from thinking positive thoughts because your body is responding to a safe presence, not an idea. The calm is not something you talked yourself into. It arrives through breath, eyes, warmth, and the small silence between two bodies. You are lying there with your cheek on your arm, and for once, nothing has to be translated. You leave a text open on your phone because the sentence could be normal, annoyed, tired, or all three. While you are deciding whether the period at the end means something, the dog drops a toy at your feet. One paw taps the floor. The stare is almost rude in how clear it is. The whole request has subtitles. There is no hidden mood tucked inside polite words. No, I'm fine. That sounds slightly too fast. No joke. That might be a complaint wearing better clothes. You read the tail. You read the ears. You hear the nervous panting. Then feel the weight of the body leaning closer or pulling away. That is part of why the bond can feel so clean. With people, affection often comes wrapped in tone, timing, status, old history, and the tiny fear that you are missing the real meaning. With a dog, emotion shows up in the body before it becomes a puzzle. Readable love feels safer because your mind does not have to keep translating it. That does not mean dogs are simple. It means the signal is less socially dangerous. A dog can want you, fear something, avoid something, or ask for play without making you guess whether you are being punished. So when you look back at the text, your chest may tighten again. Not because you are bad at people, because people can hide meaning inside perfectly normal sentences. The group chat says everyone saw the plan, and then nobody answers. 3 read receipts sit under the plan like tiny witnesses. Your feed keeps showing people together. Dating apps turn attention into a waiting room. Plans move again, and you can feel yourself trying to guess where you stand. Then the dog is in the same spot by the couch. Not asking why you were late, not recalculating your value, looking up like closeness did not expire while you were gone. That contrast can hit harder than people admit. Human connection now often feels monitored, ranked, and renegotiated. Who replied first? Who watched whose story? Who made plans, then got vague? So the dog is not replacing people. The dog is interrupting the exhausting feeling that affection has to stay under review. Sometimes you do not want more attention. You want one bond that does not make you check your position. Your chest does not have to brace. Your face does not have to perform interest. Your hand just reaches down, and the room becomes easier to be inside. You are not incomplete, because that steadiness matters. Your dog may be where your nervous system stops auditioning. The food bowl is on the kitchen floor, and you refill it before you even know what you are making for yourself. You check the medication on the counter. The vet bill is stuck under a magnet, half paid, still judging you. Outside, it is raining, but the dog still has a body with simple needs. So you grab a jacket. You take the walk. You wipe muddy paws with an old towel. And by bedtime, the apartment is not fixed. Your problems are not solved. But the day has a shape because something needed you, and you knew exactly what to do. That is the cleaner part of caring for a dog. The need is visible. The task has edges. Fill the bowl, give the pill, open the door, pay the bill. Protect the small life in front of you. No guessing, no bargaining, no being graded afterward for how warmly you did it. A clear need can feel like peace when human need has always come with hidden rules. So this does not mean you are needy, controlling, or secretly broken. Sometimes care feels grounding because it gives your love somewhere precise to go. Your hand lowers the bowl. The tag clinks against the rim. And for a second, your chest knows its job. But if being needed is the one place your body finally steadies, the next question gets harder. Is the dog helping you return to the world, or giving you the perfect reason to disappear from it? You hover over the decline button on the calendar invite for the loud dinner, while the dog sleeps against your ankle. You type that the dog needs you tonight, and the relief arrives so fast it feels almost suspicious. The plan disappears from your evening. The room gets quiet, and you are not sure whether you protected your peace or avoided being known. That is where the bond gets complicated. From the outside, it looks like the same choice. You stayed home with the dog. But inside, The choice can be doing two very different jobs. Sometimes the dog brings your body back down after too much noise, too many opinions, too many people pulling little pieces of you. That kind of comfort gives you room to breathe again. It does not make your life smaller. It gives you enough steadiness to return to it. But sometimes the dog becomes the cleanest excuse no one can argue with. You are not ditching people. You are being responsible. You are not afraid of the dinner. You are just tired. You are not avoiding the friend who might ask a real question. The dog needs you. And because that reason sounds loving, nobody pushes. Not even you. That is the sharp line. Comfort helps you come back. Avoidance helps you disappear. The hard part is that both can feel calm at first. Your chest loosens, the pressure drops, the night becomes yours again. But later, the quiet has a different texture. Not peaceful. Smaller. Like the world got easier because it got emptier. So the question is not whether loving your dog is healthy. The question is what your life looks like after the dog makes you feel safe. Maybe the photo stayed open on your laptop because the dog was not the cutest one, not the easiest one, not the one everyone would have clicked first. The ears sat wrong. The body looked tense. The description said needs patience, and everyone around you said to find a simpler dog. But your cursor did not move. Something in that thumbnail felt familiar before you had a clean reason for it. Not destiny, not a movie sign, just a quiet recognition in your chest. You knew what it was like to be judged from the outside before anyone understood the inside. Too intense, too watchful, too hard to read. Too much work for someone who wanted easy love. That is why this kind of bond can feel private. You are not only choosing a dog, you are responding to a creature whose first impression did not tell the whole story. Recognition can happen before explanation. Sometimes your body says, "I know this kind of guarded," before your mind can build a sentence around it. And that is why the last question is not whether the dog completes you, but what this bond proves your body already knows about safe love. In the corner of a small apartment, the dog bed sits there like the quietest thing in the room. The blanket inside it is flattened in the middle. Not perfect, not decorative, just shaped by a body that keeps coming back. Nothing dramatic is happening, but the whole room feels different because one steady creature belongs there. And maybe that is what you were trying to explain all along. You do not need dogs because you are incomplete. You need that relationship because your body recognizes a kind of closeness that does not make you tense first. The dog bed is not proof that you failed at people. It is proof that you still know what safe love feels like when it stops asking you to perform. Maybe the goal is not to need less love. Maybe it is to notice the kind of love your body stops bracing against. If this names something you have never said out loud, comment one word: safe.